This week's topic is, are you taking responsibility for their experience? Are you feeling responsible for the experience of others? Do you feel like you're on edge or tap dancing to keep a smile on their face? Maybe it's familiar, like walking on eggshells or, working really hard not to disappointment. And this can be exhausting. So, in this conversation, it's my highest intention that you gain some understanding on how human beings universally work. And when we gain understanding on how we all work, life gets easier. Thank you for coming to the conversation. If you feel like someone would benefit from this conversation, it's available on YouTube and my podcast. The point of this conversation is, do we find ourselves taking responsibility for someone else's experience? I think, and in this one, I was kind of referring to, like I said, I always just talk about things that I notice within myself. So there's nothing I'm clean up on this. But like, do you ever notice in your life you're either tap dancing or you're thinking that if you could do it right or be right or fluff their pillow or show up as the right person, that you could impact their experience? Does anyone notice where that might happen with them? It could be just even a sector of life. Could be work, could be home, could be this person, could be that person. Doesn't matter who it is, but do you notice that somewhere you take responsibility for someone else's experience of life?
Okay, I can do that too.
Good, 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 good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I've been on these, like a declutter group and this other group, and it's amazing how there are members that I've been able to reach out to who have other problems, side on the side. And everyone says, oh, they love all my knowledge. I'm so knowledgeable, blah, blah, blah. But I thought, oh, I didn't know that. But this one lady, I'm trying to, she has a very difficult time to go see her family. And I said, well, if you want, I'll call you, before you go to talk through help her out. And I'm helping her out also to give her examples of what to do also for her pain. So anyway, and that's it's interesting because I never thought, I always give all my advice, and then help people say if they have a question or I can answer that and all that. Never thought about it as helping them in the sense of helping them, that's what, so it does feel good. It does feel good.
Or even you might say, are you, this is just for each individual person to check in with themselves, saying, do you take on whether they have a good experience of life or not? Do you take it on? So that's kind of a question I ask you to reflect within yourself. You know what I mean? Do you take it on?
I'm saying yes, I can relate to that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Excellent. Excellent.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what I thought would be so good was to really go back to see the truth about how any human being's experience is created. Anyone's. I mean, fundamentally, universally, how someone's experience gets created. So I always crack up. So this is what came to me this morning. I've got this little exercise that came to me, and I'm going to show you something, okay? And then I want you to just look at it, reflect on it, and then I want you to share with me what came to mind, okay? So anybody want to play? So it cracks me up. All right. You ready? I'm going to show you this, and then I just want you to kind of capture what comes right into your mind at first. Okay. So everybody just kind of capture what came to mind for you. All right. So who would like to share? I'd love for as many of you to share just what came to mind for you.
Tasteless.
Okay, great. All right. Great.
Wasn't anything that I ate as a child.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, great.
And when I became an adult and I actually tasted it, it was not good at all.
Okay, great. Great.
Something
Great.
you have to doctor up, something you have to fix.
Excellent. Excellent. Who else would like to share what came to mind?
I think I remember having it when I was younger and fixing it when I was older, and I thought it was just grand.
Great. Excellent. Excellent. Anybody else?
Yeah, I do.
Yes.
Neutral.
Neutral.
Hmm.
Super. Super. Anybody else? All right. So just in looking at that, where did your experience of that blue box come from?
Childhood.
Memory. Absolutely. Absolutely. Memory. Personal experience also comes up as a memory, or as you can see that one was neutral, one was unfavorable, one was favorable. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, all day long, I could hold this as a commercial and try to sell you on the fact that this is either absolute poison or absolute perfection, however you however I might want to sell it. But
Mhm.
but I cannot create your experience of this blue box. Do you see?
Well,
Do you
you could
see?
try to talk. You could try to talk somebody into it. You could, you know.
But you can't do it.
Yeah, yeah. But you'll kind of, yeah, I mean, if you look at that, it's like the experience of the blue box did not come from me. It came from you.
Yeah.
It came up in you
Yeah.
into your mind. It didn't come, there's nothing this blue box did that went inside your head and interjected an experience. Does that look true?
Yes.
You said didn't go into your head?
This did not implant an experience in your head.
Correct.
You see what I mean?
But it activated something.
It did. It did. And what did it activate in you?
I guess what you said, the memory.
Yeah. Yeah. Total.
But for it to be activated, you have to connect with it some kind of way.
Well, I'll say that it activated thought in each one of us. It activated some sort of thinking, some sort of perception, some sort of, I mean, it activated, just to put it real simply, some sort of thoughts that came into your awareness.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like your mind, your personal mind generated something about the blue box. I guess that's another way of saying it.
Hmm.
Does that look true?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it does.
You see what I mean? So that's what I was thinking about us really living under a misconception that I can help someone have an experience of life that I would rather them have, or I would like for them to have.
So in other words, you're still powerless.
Because because someone's experience is not coming from outside of them. So we
Yeah.
are powerless, no matter how hard we tap dance.
Yeah.
But we can believe it. We can believe that we can tap dance somebody else's experience
Mm-hmm.
and affect somebody else's experience. I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's the whole point, right? That we can't.
Well, I think it can be exhausting to think we can. I think it can be exhausting to innocent and exhausting. Let me put it that way. It's very innocent that very, very innocent that we would, we kind of project an experience. We kind of project what we would like someone to experience in life.
So you think
Because we think we know.
Well, we know what we would like for them to experience.
Hmm. Yeah.
you know, and so kind of when you think about that, it's like, well, just with anybody that comes to mind, just kind of share with me what experience of life you would like for them to have more often. If you find yourself taking responsibility for someone else's experience.
That's part of caregiving, isn't it?
I don't know, is it?
No. No, no, and no. So
That's care. It's a part of caregiving.
I don't know. Like I said, this is where I think there's a lot of misunderstanding.
Oh yeah, we could go on all day.
And I'm a big advocate for caregivers, and I think exhaustion comes from a lot of these misunderstandings.
Yeah. Mm.
So if you identify what you want someone else's experience to be,
Mhm.
what do you do with that information?
Mm. So like from just from whoever it is you're thinking of, what experience do you perceive you would like them to have and would be in their best interest?
Well, I'd like for them to be happy and healthy and tickled with me.
Mhm.
Mm.
That is a great answer. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, when you think about them happy, healthy, and tickled with me, do you, do you do you feel like you're at the control panel of being able to make that happen?
No, I absolutely don't seem to have the effect that I want to have.
Gotcha. Gotcha. And it's I think it's one of those misunderstandings about caring that can really
Where, yeah.
wear you out and muck up the system. You know what I mean? Because we're over there in their world making all kinds of assumptions on how they need to be, and that also that they're not in a place where they can make choices on their own behalf.
So, so this doesn't have anything to do with whether or not they can make choices on their behalf. It's just that uh, a person's belief in whether they can or not.
Well, that it's I don't know, even when you reflect on if somebody comes in and tap dances in front of you, yeah, it might give us a chuckle, but whose
Mm-hmm.
happiness is are you truly responsible for? Whose peace are you responsible for? Whose experience are you responsible for?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mine, yes.
Does it depend on the situation, or are we just talking generally across the board?
100% across the board, you can give somebody a temporary
Boost.
I'll say a pleasurable experience. We'll use that one. All right. but even in the world of upset, you know what I mean? They're not upset. They're not upset for the reason you think you are, for that you think they are.
Well, it all leads to the fact that you realize how powerless you are in a lot of situations, period. It has nothing to do with them. It's always about you.
100%. It's always about me and how much I understand or don't understand
Don't understand. Yeah.
in my own innocence.
well, it's really interesting. I have this opportunity right now. My daughter-in-law is getting some elective surgery today. And so she's a real planner, and she's planning exactly how everything's going to be, how my son is going to
Mm.
be, how this is going to be, how that's going to be. And
Mm.
that really can set me off. It's like, because I'm full of, what I know. And so yesterday she was saying to me, well, something about him and what he was what she expected him to do. And I said, well, you know, if he doesn't, it's not about you. And she's like, of course it's about me. And I said, well, yeah, but that's not really true. And she said, well, that's just how you see it. I said, well, that's true. That is definitely how I see it. She said, okay. So we hung up. And I've been reflecting on it because it's such a great opportunity for me to stay out of everything.
Yep.
There's like no reason for me to get into that.
Mhm.
You know, I've done a lot of suggesting at different times and to her, and we'll see. I don't know. But it's great. I have a perfect example of this right now.
Alive and in your face. I think that is so, so great. That and even the bells and whistles have gone off as to where you're not exhausting yourself trying to
No,
make it better for her. Do you see that?
no.
There's
Yeah, yeah.
there's a great place right there going, wait a
There's
minute,
no way to do that.
there's
There's no way
no
to do that. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. I mean, I can't have an effect, so it's like kind of silly. You know, when I looked at that box, at first I had a thought like if, and then I had the thought, why are you even paying attention to this box? You never, you know, you don't have any memories of it. Screw it. And that's what I got to numb really fast because it didn't matter. It's just a box.
exactly, exactly, exactly. And everybody's experience of the box, that's my whole point. Everybody's experience of the box came from within themselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, whether it's someone's perception of life, if life's good or bad, where does that come from?
Yep.
That comes from within that individual. If somebody, I just think it's so helpful to see in our, um, I don't know, in our caretaking world or hoping to care world or wanting to care about others' world, that we muck up the system thinking we're gonna be able to tap dance, to make the right meal, to smile at the right times, to get it right, so they'll have a pleasant experience. And it wouldn't matter if you came in with a scowl or a smile or anything, because the experience is not coming out of you and landing on them. Their experience is coming from what their mind is seeing through their eyes about you coming in with a smile or a scowl.
You're right.
Hmm.
And it's great with this daughter-in-law because she'll just tell me, I see you. Whatever. You can go do that, but don't try to convince me of it.
Exactly. Exactly. And like even when people get mad at us,
Yes.
even when people get mad at us, I think we can hold our center more when we really start to notice that I may be like in the crosshairs of where they're looking, you know, that I may be the one of the involved parties, but their reaction is coming from the right and the wrongness, and they're thinking about what just happened.
Yeah, the personal or the impersonal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, you know, I've had as Sherry knows, because she was here when it happened, I've had a broken wrist.
Oh,
But I went into shock. And so it's really affected my nervous system, which I had no idea would be long term. However, it is, and it's different. But anyway, the reason I bring it up is it has given a chance to take a look at our reactions to each other
Mm-hmm.
in the midst of, you know, it's like I asked him to do something, he kind of huffs and puffs. And finally, one day I said, are you just huffing and puffing, or you think that's about me? And he said, no, I'm just huffing and puffing. I said, oh, okay. And you know, or whatever it is, everything is an opportunity as I see it. Everything is an opportunity for my growth and
Right.
for our relationship to either grow or stagnate. And we know how to do that part, you know, but it's really unpleasant.
Well, and I think what you're pointing to too that's so helpful is that if we at any time we can really take a beat and see what my mind is up to. You
Yeah. Yeah.
know what I mean? Like something as innocent as someone, I'll use your words, huffing and puffing, or even having a sigh.
Right.
You see what I mean? Something is very simple and mechanical as a body expelling a sigh, and see what my mind is up to, going, what's making that? It's like, wait a minute. I can go right down the road of my mind makes up they're irritated, exasperated, don't want to help, blah, blah, but I think in all those moments we have a chance to see what our mind is up to. And that what my mind is up to is what's creating my experience, and theirs too.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be what my mind is made up about their experience. Just to your point, it's like, I don't know how you interpreted the huff and the puff, but brilliantly you kind of check for understanding. You see what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
Versus,
no, I knew exactly how I was interpreting it. He was tired of me not being able to do things. He was tired of doing it for me. He was tired of this and tired of that. And it's like, it's not me.
right, right. That's truly in that moment, whether the thoughts are accurate or not, it's creating your experience of him.
Yes. And his or creating his experience of me.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't matter if how far off the mark we are. It's so important to see where the experience of him, them, is coming from, and where their experience that they're having is being generated.
Uh-huh.
It can't come from anywhere else. It will never come from anywhere else.
No exception.
No exceptions. Man, there's no absolutes in this world. Boy, I love that one. That I am a product of how much of what's going on in my head I take is absolute and real.
Well, for some reason, I find that very unsettling.
Say more about that. Say more.
I don't know. It just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I'm thinking about a time when I'm in the car and my person says, oh, doesn't say anything. I don't even remember what the situation. I don't even know what I did to start it.
There you go.
but oh, there was this dreadful reaction, and I just rather than I don't know what my reaction, what would be a good reaction or a bad reaction from me to this, outside of maybe just the awareness that it's not about me, which is really hard to come to in that moment, and that my reaction is going to have an effect. I mean, like, I know that if I yelled and carried on, I don't know this for a fact, but my guess is that would escalate that other person's experience. I could be wrong about that because I never try it.
Mm-hmm.
I just go, okay, and just sit back and go, don't start no trouble, it won't be done, and which is a perfect example of the fact that that's not true, I guess. It doesn't have anything to do with whether there'll be trouble, but it's just, well, it's I don't know why I find it unsettling. I just do. I don't, maybe because I do just it does, that person has an effect on my experience.
Mhm.
by their what I'm making up about what they're doing. And
Just how they show up in the world.
in that moment, yeah.
Right. And I think that's so innocent. That's part of this conversation too. It's like just noticing how somebody shows up in the world. Just kind of just noticing if you lose your grounding or your footing or I don't even know a word for it, but um you can get disheveled or destabilized or something.
Yeah, and I think if I pulled over and made them get out, it wouldn't even help because
Well,
I would already be down the road, in my so I don't know what to do with that. I mean, so here's this person having this reaction and I'm in my reaction, I don't know how to react outside of just uh, just try not to escalate whatever they're doing, which is exactly what we're well, I guess what we're talking about is that that's not my job to or my even my ability to have an impact on their what they're doing.
right.
But I don't know what do I do instead.
Well,
I
Breathe.
I think a good point to look at is in that moment, whatever that moment is or was,
Mhm.
do you really see that they are in reaction to what they're thinking
Yes,
made up about whatever occurred?
yes, I do get that.
Okay,
I
great,
get that.
great,
I don't feel responsible for that reaction.
great, great. But if you really start to notice that anybody's reaction to something is a response to their perceptions, to their thinking, to how they thought it should shake out, or what's right or what's wrong, or
Mhm.
this shouldn't be
Mhm.
happening. It's like even the more we can kind of just be present to people and know that they are in full reaction to what their head has made up about a situation.
Okay. Okay.
And really, I mean, I think this is a really good thing to practice. It's a good thing to even be able to just breathe through,
Mhm.
going and
Mhm.
reminding your own self that, wait a minute, they're in reaction to what their head is telling them.
Right.
I'm in proximity, but
Yes.
I'm in proximity. Lucky me. I'm in proximity.
Yeah. Yeah. Woohoo.
Lucky me. But just go, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. The truth is, if their mind was telling them a different story, they'd be having a different reaction.
Mhm.
So their mind is telling them some story and they're having a reaction to that story.
Mhm.
And I think that's a real good place to kind of just be able to breathe ourselves through as we gain staying stable around strong reactions or whatever. Doesn't matter if
Mhm.
it's a strong reaction or a happy strong reaction or a terrifying strong reaction. You see what I mean? It's like there's not a change of if it's a good or a bad reaction. It's just knowing that they're in a reaction to what their mind has served up for them.
So I'm neutral to that, whether it's a good reaction or a bad reaction.
Yeah, they're just reacting to what their mind is telling them.
Hmm.
In the big book of right and wrong, I always kind of feel like it distills down to right and wrong, good or bad.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be like the first thing I would do is just be able to breathe through those moments of really seeing their reaction, even even if it's something I did or something someone did,
Yeah.
they're still in reaction to their thinking about what that someone did. What that someone did is just whatever. It's the blue box again.
Hmm. Yeah. And so I have been in times uh, reacting to that, reacting to their reaction, and so and what I hear you saying is what I can do is be aware and breathe.
Yeah, just really be able to get it inside our own understanding
Mhm.
that, because I don't know about you, but a lot of times if it's so strong, my mind goes offline. I kind of go into a panic and it goes offline, and I can't even hold my center of what's shaking down here. So this is like a very gradual exercise about, wait a minute, if I don't
Mhm.
have anything to be concerned with, and I could just breathe through noticing their reaction to what their mind is making up.
Mhm.
I think as we start to see that, we can stay clear-headed in those moments.
Mhm. Mhm.
Over time, just practice it. Now,
Mhm.
to your point, we have, if we're not going to take responsibility for their reaction to their thinking,
Mhm.
you know, we can not easily, but I say we can, how was I going to put this? We don't have to join them in their thinking.
Mhm. Mhm.
You see what I mean? We don't have to get in their thinking with them. We
Yeah.
have to go into their reality. You see what I mean? Because you're
Yeah.
having your own experience of whatever happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I,
Yeah.
I like,
It's not like this is not I don't, it makes it sound like I have this terrible person sitting next to me having
no,
all
it
kind
does
of a
not.
reaction. That's not the
No,
case at
because
all. It's
it's
just that,
not at all.
yeah, it's just that, that was just an example of one opportunity where I was like, I don't need this, I don't
Well,
deserve this or
and-
whatever.
no, totally. And the whole
But I
point,
get it.
yeah, that we can just see that I think it brings much more peace to interactions, you know, that
Mhm.
that in I think a lot of times, I think about little kids and their parents have strong reactions to whatever the little kid did.
Mhm.
And the little kid thinks they did something wrong. In reality, the parents are having a total reaction to how they thought that kid should be.
Yeah.
The kid was just being the kid.
Yeah. Yes.
You see what
Yeah.
I mean? So I think we had a lot of it, in our coming up of uh always wanting to get favorable reactions from the people in our world, and if we
Mhm.
thought we had to make up our bed better, or comb my hair better, or be on time with my backpack ready to go, whatever, all that, what I mean, you see all that stuff, we really think that's going to make it better for them.
Mhm.
And in reality, it's like, wait a minute, I don't have to get in their thinking, their standards and of how it should happen. I mean, we all have to get along, don't get me wrong, but you can stop in taking responsibility. If they're upset, if they're not upset because I left my backpack out, they're upset because they think I shouldn't leave my backpack out.
Mhm. Mhm.
See the nuance of that?
Yeah, when you said that about a parent and child,
Mm-hmm.
not that I did this with my kids, you understand, but what occurred to me was there was a definite separation between me and that child, and that I was, if they did have a strong reaction, I'd be more like, whoa, instead of whatever else I might do with an adult, so, not that, yeah, that I'd have a different perspective with a child, in, in that particular, what came to mind. I
Yeah.
can see what you're saying. And I think it also has to do with, for me anyway, for that to see that child as a separate individual, and and I don't know that I do that as well with with my partner. I get, instead of drawing a line and saying, okay, this is where I end and you begin, and this is your reaction and this is mine. It's sometimes the line gets blurred. Yeah,
It could
and
be partners, it could be bosses, it could be anybody that you notice, you know, lose
mhm,
your footing on. And it's
yeah,
all innocent. It's all innocent.
I think even for myself, just within myself, if I separate and look at myself as, oh, there you are doing that, then uh, it's it has value
Mm-hmm.
to make that distinction. With, oh, oh, there you are, walking around in this humanness, doing whatever you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like the other day there was a situation that happened and it kind of drove this point home. Like I was with a group of people, and so I sent a text around that said, we'll all park in the back in the shade. Okay. Well, in my mind that was real clear. Follow me and we'll all park in the back in the shade. The royal we. Okay. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I get a text a little bit later going, well, where do you expect us to park? I'm like, you see what I mean? So it's like, wait a minute. In the innocence of, um, in the innocence of thinking, in my thinking, so this is inclusive. We'll all park in the shade. And the other person's thinking went to, well, what about me? I it was so innocent on both parts. The words could
Mm-hmm.
be interpreted either way,
Mm-hmm.
and it was and I could say the old me would think I did something wrong. Oh, I didn't communicate effectively. I should have written X, Y, Z and Z, blah, blah, blah. And then this wouldn't have happened. And then I could have gotten it right and things would be smoother. That's just a snapshot of what my old head would have gone into. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like, wow, there's space for each person's thinking to show up and we can still go from there. Nobody did anything wrong. Both of those little tiny texts were completely innocent.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, so kind of in that place of knowing or beginning to witness where someone's experience is coming from, that to me is a game changer. That their thinking has nothing to do with me. I might be the subject in the sentence, you know what I mean? I might be the noun in the sentence, but the creation of the content did not come from me. The creation of the content came from my own personal mind. And it helps us take a beat or take a breath or um, not be under the illusion I can make it better or I did something wrong. Or if I cared, I would dot, dot, dot. I could make it better for them. We can't make it better for them. Their own relationship with their mind will make it better for them.
Yes. If we could only get them to understand that.
I tell you, you don't have to and you can't. But I was like, the more we see that in our own selves, there's a wake of, I believe, there's kind of a wake of consciousness that moves through, and it's like if you just keep the uh attention, just witnessing yourself,
Yeah.
that creates change.
Yeah.
So any thoughts or anything as we wrap up our conversation? Any thoughts or anything anybody would like to share? Well, hopefully, I kind of hope, this is my hope, that your list of responsibilities are a little bit lighter at the end of the conversation. So the weight you carry would be less. You know what I mean? The weight you would carry up here would be less. So thank you for coming to this conversation. I hope you found some very useful information on how you can experience life much lighter and easier and take some of the struggle out of it. I thank you very much for listening, and I hope that you can join me on the next webinar. If you'd like to work individually or you have a group that you would like for me to work with, please reach out to me at Sherry@sherryray.com.